Decision 2026, and apparently one of the biggest races in the country is happening right across the state line.
Yes, voters in Wisconsin are heading to the polls for the state primary election, and the outcome of the closely watched governor's race there could offer an early glimpse of how the midterm election could shape up. To explain all this, let's go to Paris Schutz. He's live in Kenosha. Just break down the candidates and why these results matter far beyond Wisconsin.
Yeah, Stephen and Allison, there's been a steady trickle of voters here at the Kenosha Public Museum. My informal survey says they're mostly Democratic because it is the Democratic gubernatorial primary that they're watching and national leaders are watching. It is pitting the progressive firebrand Assemblywoman Francesca Hong against David Crowley, the more centrist Milwaukee County executive. Here are the four candidates left in the Democratic gubernatorial primary. But it's become a foot race between Hong, the progressive firebrand, and the more centrist Crowley, who initially dropped out but got back in weeks ago at the urging of current Democratic Governor Tony Evers. Mordecai Lee is emeritus professor of political science at UW-Milwaukee. He says Hong has the momentum with younger voters but could face trouble in a general election due to past comments indicating that she'd cancel Thanksgiving and abolish ICE.
Senior citizens, homeowners, people with children. In other words, not the 18 to 29-year-olds. I think it's fair to say that they're more likely not to vote for her.
Those are the voters Crowley is attempting to win.
Feels like we've captured lightning in a bottle, and so our job is just to make sure we're consolidating all those undecided voters.
Hong has since walked some of her controversial comments back and says voters are more concerned about the economy.
It's the people, the voters, that give me confidence, not only to win tomorrow, but to win on November 3rd.
Kenosha resident Sydney Anderson says affordability is her number one issue. And on that one, she says Hong wins out.
I think it's time for Wisconsin to return to its socialist roots. I just believe her more.
But voters Diana and Mark McCarthy say they believe Crowley is the only one who can win in November against Republican Tom Tiffany, a Trump supporter and election denier who is running unopposed in his primary.
If she wins the primary, then Democrats are going to lose to Tiffany, and definitely don't want him running the state.
Wisconsin's rules call for an open primary, which means voters don't have to register to vote for a party. Lee says it could cause Republican voters to cross over and vote for Hong with the thinking that she'd be easier for their candidate, Tiffany, to beat.
And I think today there's anywhere from a tsunami of Republican voters who are going to say, oh, what the heck, let's vote in the Democratic primary, to it being really minimal.
And it should be noted that Tiffany, the Republican candidate, did not request that his voters do that. As he says, there's many other important races down the ballot. Also, midterm primaries in Minnesota tonight, Stephen. But this one is the one the national leaders are watching.
Yeah, and clear that up for me, Paris. Why are nationwide Democrats watching this one so closely? Why does this one seem to have an indication of who could hold the balance of power in Washington?
Yeah, well, think about recent results. Abdul Al-Sayed, the progressive who won his primary for Congress in Michigan. Think about Jaron Mamdani, the mayor of New York. And Democratic Socialists really believe they have the momentum to really become the core of the Democratic Party. And then, of course, more traditional Democrats are afraid that DSA is too far to the left for mainstream voters, and it could hurt them in November, hurt Democrats' chances of taking the House and Senate. So if Hong wins tonight, that is a clear indication, they believe, that the party is lurching more to the left. And that debate will be had over the next few months. Now, we are told that there will be a list of unity events tomorrow, whoever wins in this hotly contested race tonight. Stephen?
All eyes on the Badger State.
But Paris, of course, the voters will have the final say
it.
come that general election. Thanks for your coverage.